For years, rumors have swirled around General Motors and the future of the V8 engine. Some claim the V8 was on life support. Others insisted GM was quietly preparing something big behind the scenes. As the 2027 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 approaches, the truth is finally coming into focus, and it's far more interesting than most people expected. GM is not abandoning the V8. In fact, it's doing the opposite. The company is investing heavily in a new generation V8 platform designed specifically to survive and thrive well into the late 2020s. The upcoming Silverado 1500 will be the first real proof of that strategy. This isn't nostalgia. This is a calculated, engineering-driven move shaped by customer demand, regulatory realities, and fierce competition from Ford and Ram. Why GM is doubling down on V8 power? Despite the industry's push toward electrification, full-size truck buyers have remained remarkably consistent in what they want: torque, durability, sound, and long-term reliability. According to multiple GM engineers and suppliers, Silverado buyers still overwhelmingly associate V8 engines with trust and capability. An experienced GM powertrain engineer, speaking anonymously, summarized it simply: hybrid and turbo are great tools, but when customers are towing heavy loads, running long distances, or keeping a truck for 10 to 15 years, displacement still matters. GM's leadership has taken that message seriously. CEO Mary Barra has openly acknowledged that regulatory pressure nearly forced GM into abandoning some traditional powertrains earlier this decade. With those pressures easing slightly and customer loyalty clearly tied to V8 performance, GM now has room to recalibrate. The result is a new V8 architecture, not a minor refresh. This is not just another small block update. One of the biggest misconceptions online is that GM's 2027 Silverado V8 will be a lightly revised version of the current 5.3 or 6.2 engines. Industry insiders say that's not accurate. While the new engine will retain small block DNA, it's reportedly built on an all-new internal architecture designed for modular upgrades, future electrification pairing, and increased thermal efficiency. Key areas of focus include stronger bottom-end design for sustained high-load towing, revised cylinder head airflow for better torque at low RPM, improved oiling and cooling systems, advanced variable valve timing strategies, and built-in compatibility with mild hybrid or e-assist systems. A veteran automotive powertrain analyst explained, GM learned a lot from the LT series engines. The next step is designing a V8 that can scale naturally aspirated today and electrified tomorrow without losing its character. That scalability is critical for the Silverado 1500's future. Expected power, more torque, smarter delivery. While GM hasn't released official numbers, internal targets reportedly prioritize usable torque over headline horsepower. This aligns with Silverado buyers who tow, haul, and drive daily, not just race light to light. Experts expect output improvements to be modest on paper, but meaningful in real-world driving. Stronger low-end and mid-range torque, smoother power delivery under load, improved throttle response, and better efficiency during steady cruising. Rather than chasing extreme horsepower figures, GM is reportedly tuning the engine to outperform rivals where trucks actually work. A former GM truck program manager noted, "You don't win truck buyers by peak dyno numbers. You win them when the truck feels effortless pulling 8,000 pounds uphill. Sound, feel, and the emotional factor." One area GM understands extremely well is emotional engagement. Silverado owners don't just want power, they want the sound and feel that define a V8 truck. Engineers are reportedly paying close attention to exhaust tone refinement, vibration control without muting character, and throttle mapping that feels mechanical, not artificial. This is especially important as turbocharged V6 engines dominate competitors' lineups. GM sees the V8 sound and response as a clear differentiator. An industry NVH specialist explained, "You can engineer efficiency into anything, but the V8's firing order and resonance give it an authenticity customers immediately recognize." How it fits into GM's bigger truck strategy. The new V8 isn't just about the Silverado 1500. It's about future-proofing GM's entire truck portfolio. Sources suggest the engine is being designed to serve as a base for performance variants, support off-road-focused trims, adapt for future emission standards, and remain viable into the early 2030s. This aligns with GM's broader strategy of offering multiple powertrain paths instead of forcing a single solution. EVs, hybrids, turbo engines, and V8s will coexist, each targeting a specific buyer. Competition is forcing GM's hand. Ford and Ram are not standing still. Ford's Predator V8 in the Raptor R and Ram's rumored big displacement performance engines have reignited the horsepower wars. GM cannot afford to let Silverado lose its identity. A senior automotive market analyst put it bluntly: if GM abandoned the V8 now, it would hand Ford and Ram a branding victory they'd never give back. The 2027 Silverado V8 is GM's answer not just to competitors, but to loyal customers who've stuck with Chevy for decades. Will this lead to a performance Silverado? While GM hasn't confirmed a modern Silverado SS or equivalent, insiders say the new V8 platform absolutely makes it possible. The architecture reportedly supports higher compression variants, performance cam profiles, forced induction adaptations, and track-oriented cooling upgrades. That opens the door for future special editions without redesigning the engine from scratch. What this means for Silverado buyers? For buyers, the message is clear: GM is listening. The 2027 Silverado 1500's new V8 engine represents a commitment to long-term ownership confidence, real-world capability, mechanical authenticity, and choice not forced electrification. It also signals that GM believes the V8 still has a future when engineered intelligently. Final verdict: the V8 isn't dead, it's evolving. The truth behind GM's new V8 engine for the 2027 Silverado 1500 is not hype, secrecy, or nostalgia. It's strategy. GM isn't fighting the future. It's shaping it on its own terms. By re-engineering the V8 for modern demands, while preserving what truck buyers love most, GM is betting that there's still no replacement for displacement when it's done right. And if early insider confidence is accurate, the 2027 Silverado 1500 may become one of the most important V8 trucks GM has built in decades. One of the most important underlying shifts is that GM's new V8 effort is not happening in isolation. It is being designed in parallel with tightening global emissions rules, changing fuel economy targets, and the rapid expansion of hybrid systems. Instead of treating these constraints as a reason to scale back, engineers are reportedly using them as design inputs. That means the next generation V8 is being shaped from the ground up to work efficiently under partial electrification, rather than being retrofitted later. This is a major philosophical change compared to earlier small block iterations. Another expanded angle is how deeply modular the new architecture is expected to be. Rather than a single fixed engine configuration, the platform is reportedly being developed like a system family. This allows displacement variants, output tuning, and hardware differences without redesigning the entire engine. In practical terms, it would let GM use shared core components across multiple trucks, SUVs, and performance models, while still offering distinct behavior depending on application. That reduces cost, improves reliability, consistency, and makes long-term updates far easier. On the thermal and durability side, engineers are focusing heavily on sustained load behavior rather than peak performance. Modern half-ton trucks are often used for towing at high highway speeds over long distances,